Welcome everyone, I am Aloysius, the Beastly Sage, and today I'm talking about guilt and shame in this episode of Going AWOL. So if you watch my introduction, I went into these two quite a bit. Now, the reason why is because they're the most powerful mechanisms of social control and how the establishment gets what they want out of you, not in your interest. They're the basis of all the other mechanisms. And they're I think they're the most deadly, actually. And the reason why is because it's actually ingrained into us. As humans, we evolved to feel these emotions, and for good reasons. But very smart, very deceptive people, a lot of them, have used this and are using this to control you and get what they want. So today I'm going to teach you what they are. I'm going to do a breakdown and how to avoid that. Let's go. So now look at my screen here. Like I said, I got a new setup. So what is guilt? What is shame? So guilt, or let's start with shame first. So shame is when you receive a negative response from other people for your actions. So if I were to, I'm going to use this example throughout the whole video, if I were to go into the bread store, the bakery, and steal whole tons of bread, right? Because I'm hungry, I might not need it, I might be starving, doesn't matter. I go steal all that bread and I'm caught. Now, the store owner comes up to me, grabs me the shirt, and he shames me. He says, "How dare you? I worked so hard to make this bread. You are a bad person. You steal, like you're a thief. You're awful, and that's shame." And when other people in the community hear that, they're gonna feel negatively about me. So my standing within the community has gone down. Now, I get labeled as a thief. People no longer trust me. The society is no longer going to be contributing as much as it did before to me in resources, physical, emotional, mental, all this kind of stuff. Social, that is shame. Guilt comes from within. It's when if I steal the bread, and regardless if I get caught or not, I feel negatively how it affected the baker. Now, I'm eating this like I feel bad because I didn't do anything for this bread, but the baker, he working his ass off, making the bread, and he might not be in a good financial situation. He's a genuinely good person, and I feel bad for that. And these are two very different ways that we evolved as people to control and, well, not control, but more so get along with each other to make a society work. There's an individual animal, like say a tiger. Tigers don't feel this. They're just individual creatures that they just go out and they get what they want. So, when the tiger, like they see like some other, they see some animal den, right? That like an animal, say a hyena, right? Hyena's chewing on some calf leg. They found some dead calf and they're chewing on it, right? Now, the tiger has no problem going up to the hyena and just taking it, using its strength over it. It doesn't care about the hyena. It's completely self-interested. And even if the hyena snarls at it, whatever, makes all this tension that the tiger's stealing, the tiger doesn't care. Because the tiger only cares about itself. Now, take like a lion. A lion, on the other hand, that lives in a pack, they work with each other. So they will actually have some mechanisms of social control, like guilt and shame, right? And this has been established in like animals that are in packs that have communities, especially monkeys, right? There was an experiment when they took two chimpanzees. They gave one chimpanzee an olive when they did a trick, and then they gave the other chimpanzee a grape when it did a trick, right? And they kept doing it, and the chimpanzee who got the olive that doesn't taste that good, they saw that the other chimp was getting the tasty grape, he threw a fit. He started freaking out. And the reason why is because it was unfair. He saw the unfairness. So a lot of times when you do these experiments, the other monkey will actually not eat the grape out of fear that they will receive negative repercussions from the other monkey. Or we don't know exactly but it could be from within, a feeling like, oh, I feel bad the other monkey doesn't get it. Now, this happens sometimes, but it is evidence that pack animals, they feel guilt or shame. And humans, we evolved to feel that. The reason why is because it is necessary for society to function. We need each other to survive. We can't just go out in the woods, no matter what the crazy libertarian side, that what they want to say, that, oh, I'm just an individual, I don't need anyone, I can just go off the grid. No, you need other people. That's why we evolved guilt and shame. The problem is we live in a society now where the establishment does not care about us. They want to just extort us like we're sheep, shear us, and then when we die, just throw us in some shredder. I'm exaggerating, but this is kind of how people operate. You might have noticed this, a lot of times at your job where, your bosses don't care about you. Or, if you're in a relationship, often not, like the person you're dating, after you break up, you realize they didn't care about you at all, or your friends, how they drift apart. So, honestly, like, that's a hard thing to accept, that most people don't care. But, like I said, it's freeing. So, how does guilt and shame play into our situation? So, when we feel shame, what's going on? Other people, it's external, other people are putting us down and labeling us something as bad or negative. So that means we're not going to get as much resources from the society. So what do we feel? We feel regret. We feel regret, and that means we wish we didn't do what we did because it had a negative impact on us. It negative impacted me, that I don't have access to the resources. I might be kicked out of the tribe or community or whatever, or I might even be killed. I regret is how it affected me. When you feel guilt, that's from within. It's not other people putting on you. It means that I feel bad what I did because of my own morality. So I feel remorse. I feel bad because I feel like I did something wrong and it hurt someone else, about the other person. So shame is about their morality, and guilt about your morality. So how does this play with modern day, right? So there's a lot of shaming going on. In the other episodes I'm going to go into with like bigotry or like cringe, popularity, flattery, heretics, all this kind of stuff. They all have a basis of shame. Other people telling you your behavior or actions are wrong or bad somehow. And if you notice, most of the time, it's not about you. It's not how they're bad for you. Like if you were to, for example, like put on 400 pounds, if I were to say you need to lose weight, that's more about you, your health. It's your benefit that I want you to live longer. It's in your best interest. However, most of these shaming tactics, what I'm going to go over, is about them. They want to control the society and how other people live their life. So when people complain about, say, bigotry, it's more about them, how they feel, right? It's like, you're making me feel less or inferior or not as good, or you're exposing the truth. This is how you make you feel, despite of what you're saying, right? You can be saying something that's completely like not related to that. It's all about them, and they want you to stop. And they will do this like the labels at the end of the day, like which you'll see at the end of the series, don't even matter that much. It all comes down to shame. It's all about them. It's all about how they want you to operate. So understand that all of this judgment, all how people want you to live all comes from shame about their morality, how it makes them feel, and controlling you. It's not in your interest. And like I said, all we're all about here is your best interest, and you got to start looking after yourself. Because if you don't, no one else will. You need to stand up and think about, what do I want? You have 80 years on this planet. You better figure out what you want, because you don't want to get to the time where you're on your deathbed and you realize you finally find out what you want and you didn't do it. You'll be filled with regret and remorse, mostly regret. um, and or never figuring out what you want, or knowing what you want and never getting it because you just didn't have the gumption, you didn't have the ability. Shameful. So the lesson here, I want, if you take anything out of this video, is that shame is external and it's not about you. It's just about people trying to control you. If they resort to shame, it's because they have no other basis to defend their actions on, to defend their beliefs. So if you take anything from this video, I want you to take that shame is about them, not you. It's not in your interest. So if someone tries to shame you about anything, stop and think, like, are they trying to help me or are they trying to hurt me? Because, the rules in the society is broken. A lot of there's not even rules anymore. It's just beliefs and people just trying to control each other and with their own agendas. But think about, is it about them or is it about you? Is this feeling I have, is that guilt where I genuinely feel bad based off my moral principles? Either if that's religion, philosophy, or just how you feel? Or is it theirs? And are you going to live your life on their terms? Some random schmuck on Twitter telling you, like, what you're doing is wrong? You might consider it like, I didn't think, I might have said something and someone points it out and I'm like, I don't feel good about that. I don't believe I should have said that. Or are you just going to apologize and delete your post and start saying the opposite just because other people don't like you? That's the worst. That's the worst. That will eat you up. So remember, fame is always external. It does not need to control you. Have some strong inner game and live for yourself. Mental point of origin, guys. So thanks for watching, and this is going to be a great series, and we'll keep going. All right.